Diddy admits he's not really paying thousands of dollars a day for sampling a song, but it has opened up a conversation about how artists should navigate musical inspiration. I'm b.i.g, and this is MTV News. Need to know. Last week, a 2018 clip from The Breakfast Club had people wondering if Diddy really had to pay Sting thousands of dollars a day for sampling the Police hit Every Breath You Take. Diddy used it without permission to memorialize the notorious b.i.g. in the hit I Will Be Missing You, which dropped 2 months after the MC was killed.
Is it true that Diddy has to pay you $2,000 a day because he didn't ask permission to sample Every Breath You Take?
Yeah.
Wow.
For the rest of his life.
Wow.
When the segment hit our timelines again, Diddy doubled down on the rumor, retweeting the clip and adding, nope, $5K a day. Press outlets started running with the story until Diddy admitted he was being facetious. He made a follow-up post saying Sting never charged him $3,000 a day or $5,000 a day. So, what really happened? Sting was the frontman of the Police and sole owner of the song. He sued Diddy for copyright infringement, won, and was awarded 100% of royalties from the track. Now you gotta remember, I'll Be Missing You by Diddy and Faith Evans is one of the greatest tribute songs of all time in any genre, topping charts all over the world and selling over 3 million copies in 1997. Kinda crazy to think that Diddy doesn't profit off one of his most enduring tracks, one that we're still talking about decades later. And today, the business behind sampling hasn't changed much, except that more people are doing it. Hip-hop turned 50 years old this year, and the genre is widely credited for creating sampling in the 70s and 80s. Its earliest producers were from disenfranchised neighborhoods and had to get creative to make music with limited resources. Today, it's less about limited resources and more about creative freedom, with the added benefit of introducing new audiences to old music. With today's tech and platforms like TikTok, it's now easier than ever to sample records, remix them, and maybe launch a viral career while doing it. And it's expanded far beyond hip-hop. Last year, 1 out of every 5 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 had a sample in it. And that was a 31% increase from the previous 3 years. But despite how mainstream the practice has become, the business of sampling music remains extremely complex, and there's no set blueprint. Currently, you don't need permission to cover a whole song, and there's even legal protection for making a full parody of a song. But there are no protections for using a small piece of a song. This partly comes from the fact that covers and parodies have been deemed artistically valid in many spaces, where sampling hasn't. TrackLib co-founder Par Almquist says that legitimizing sampling producers is long overdue. Taking elements of an existing recording and crafting it into something new is a beautiful art form that needs to be highlighted and celebrated. Sampling is a true art form, and the claim that musical geniuses such as Jay Dilla, Madlib, or Daft Punk are not real musicians is nonsensical. So today, how do we compensate the original creators without breaking the bank for the little guys or discouraging creativity? Author and hip-hop scholar Dan Charnas wrote a piece for Slate called "It's Time to Legalize Sampling." And he says we should treat sampling songs the way we treat covering songs. Of course, with a pipeline making sure that the original creators are getting paid for their work. A lot of artists, including Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Ye, and Nicki Minaj, have been slapped with lawsuits for unauthorized samples. Others have been sued for their songs sounding similar to other works. But as we aim to protect the rights and integrity of creators, we don't want to create a culture of fear around the creative process in which artists are censoring themselves. After 50 years, it's clear that sampling is here to stay and should be legitimized as an art form. Firming up those gray areas would protect artists and recognize sampling producers for their imprint on music. I'm b.i.g, and that's what you need to know.